There we go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario. Welcome back to another episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. This is a series I do here on my second channel. Yes, I said second channel, where if you want something that's a bit more edited, more concise, and, more tutorial based and all that stuff with, modding, game consoles, all that fun stuff, I'll have my main channel linked down below in the description. This here is mainly where I upload whatever the hell I want to. Still kind of do that, but I mostly upload Thrifty Gaming Pickups, where this is just a series I like to do with my dog Lily here, where I show you all, games that I've picked up from different sales, like consoles, all that stuff, and it could be anywhere from like thrift stores, getting games from friends, well too, like garage sales, yard sales, retail shops, just everything in between, and just, kind of the deals that I'm getting here. So I kind of started with mainly going to thrift stores. But either way, on here, let's just go ahead and get into this. There's a lot, right? There's stuff from a trip. There's stuff from Black Friday, and there's stuff from even after Black Friday. So this is probably going to be the last, I hope it is. This is probably going to be the last episode of 2021, but I figured it's a good way to go out as well, too. And I will just say right off the bat, yes, that is a Xbox Series S. No, I didn't get it for like $20 or something, okay? Like, I just don't think I got like a killer deal on that. I'm just going to tell y'all right now so nobody's feeling baited or anything. But either way, let's go ahead. Lily, can you sit, please? And get her another treat. We're going to sit down, and we're going to just kind of do this how we regularly do it here. So let's kind of just go, we're going to cover, how about we cover the software first, right? This is what we're going to do. So I ended up getting a bunch of games right here. Anything from, the Xbox 360 all the way up to the PlayStation 5. And I might as well just start with the oldest and the stuff that I picked up first. So last month, November, I ended up taking another trip up to Canada. That's where my girlfriend lives, and we had gone kind of, game shopping a few places here and there. Now, I ended up finding a couple games here for the 360 that I did not have. Well, kind of. So the first one here, I do not have this on 360. This is Watchmen, The End Is Nigh, Parts 1 and 2. And I used to avoid this on Xbox 360 because the achievements were really weird numbers. By that I mean, I used to be an achievement whore, and I wanted my gamer score to end in 5 or 0. That was it. And the achievements here do not end in 5 and 0. It's like 2 gamer score, 8 gamer score, 7 gamer score, whatever it is. At this point now, I really don't care. I have this on PS3, but I do not have it on 360, so I end up finding it there. Picked it up for $10 Canadian, and it's complete and everything. So I need to actually, I took the price sticker off there and everything. I need to just hit that with Goo Gone, but just cut my nails recently, so it was a bit harder to get out there. Anyways, yeah, Lily, that's Watchmen. You know that I have something else in my pocket, don't you? And this was a bit of a surprise here. I like to get imports if I can, and this one I know should work on the 360. I'm quite sure Gears of War actually released as a region-free version, but even so, since I know how to modify the 360 and all that, and even with backwards compatibility on Xbox One and Xbox Series X, you can play them, I have a way of playing this. So this is what happened, right? I end up seeing this, and they had, of course, plenty of copies of Gears of War, but I saw this, and I noticed, the characters right there. So this ended up being only $4 Canadian. Now it's funny because they had probably 20 copies of this or something, and there was, I don't think it was there, no, I want to say there was another time, there was another game I was going to get, they couldn't find it. It might not have been that visit. I think it was a previous one. But either way, on the last visit to this shop, I ended up seeing this. The guy was really cool, and he was like, oh, okay, cool, you finally found some things, finally ready. And I said, yep, because we were just browsing around for a while. So these were the 2 games I was getting. I was the weird person who was just getting some 360 titles. Now, unfortunately, they end up making a mistake, which I thought would have happened. I end up getting the standard US NTSCU version of Gears of War. And I looked at it, I could tell from the disc, and I was like, oh, this is not the import disc. I want the import disc. So because, I live out of the country, I decided to check everything. Lily, did you just lick that? Okay. I decided to check it while I was there. And I saw it was that, but also the disc was super scratched up as well, too. So I took it back, and the guy immediately thought it was the condition. He was just like, oh, is the disc too scratched? I can get you another one. I was like, well, yes, but actually, I want the, this is an imported version of it. This is NTSC-J. I am the weird one here. I know what I'm getting myself into. I want the import disc. The disc that you gave me is not the imported version, so I'd like that version. And the guy understood. He's like, oh, okay, well, let me look for it real quick. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure if we'll be able to find it. So he like pulled a box that had just like a stack of Gears of War discs in there. He's like, yeah, because we have so many copies of that, and it's a really common game. And oh, here. And it was literally the very first disc on top of this stack of Gears of War discs was the imported version that we were looking for. Now, I haven't tried this one yet, and honestly, I'm not 100% sure. We did not check it yet, so like we're not 100% sure which language this is here. We're thinking it might be Chinese. We're thinking, and yeah, I know it says NTSC-J, but from what I'm seeing for Xbox 360 releases, I believe they just use NTSC-J as just a general assignment for the Asian region for games that were coming out there. So even though you would think of Japan, this doesn't seem to be Japanese, apparently. Like, my girlfriend was looking at the characters. She's like, I'm pretty sure it's Chinese, but it doesn't look to be Japanese, doesn't look to be Korean. So yeah, and even if anybody's interested in this, this is what the disc looked like here. We were able to verify platinum hits. It does say NTSC-J there as opposed to just NTSC, which the regular version had. And of course, it has, the Asian characters on there. So we were all good at that point. So those ended up being, this was $10, and actually I just had to double check. Yeah, this is $10, this was $4, so ended up being $14 with that all together. Canadian though. Now, because I live in the US, with how currency conversion is and such, pretty much discount it by about 20%. So this ended up being about $3.20 US. This ended up being about $8 for me. So they end up being pretty good deals as well too. And this was a lot cheaper as well, by the way. The imported version, I want to say they were selling the... Lily, you keep licking that box. Jesus. I want to say they were selling the regular, North American version for $10, $8 or $10. This ended up being $4. And I was even talking about this with my girlfriend at one point. I said, I notice many times, there's exceptions, sure, but many times stores with common titles like this, if they get in an import, they'll actually sell it for cheaper because it's harder to sell. With new systems now, region locking is less of a thing, thank goodness. But before this, region locking was an issue, so you had to sell the game to someone who knew how to play it and knew how to actually boot it. And then on top of that, you needed interest in that import and all that other stuff. So it was just more of a niche audience, and it was a harder sale. So many times, yeah, you would see something like that where this is typically a $10 game, but this imported version, because you might sell it to someone who they don't speak the native language here, or it won't work on their system, or they won't know how to get to run, you sell it at a discount. So try to get it to move at least. So when somebody like me who knows what they're getting themselves into sees it, they'll pick it up. So those are the 360 titles I got. Now with the rest of the software here, I end up getting a lot of this here from Best Buy and Gamefly. So kind of just going from most expensive to least expensive, because that's how I was sorting it out here. For the games here, I ended up getting 3 titles, and this kind of just from everywhere, but got Paper Mario Origami King, or The Origami King. I've heard really awesome things about this game, have never played it, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Lily, you can play that as well too. There you go. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Now, I actually have the regular version of Ghost of Tsushima, and I've been waiting to play it on PS5. Then I found out they were actually doing a PS5 version, but there wasn't a proper upgrade for it, so you all are seeing that right there. So yeah, I'm going to be playing this on PS5. I'm wanting the PS5 version. This is also $40. And then never played this, been waiting to pick it up. Decided, you know what? Sure, I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Why not? I've just been waiting. Didn't decide not to pick it up when it first came out, and now's the time. Why not? So Death Stranding Director's Cut on PS5, the first PS5 game I'm showing here on Thrifty Gaming Pickups. This is also $40. So next up, Life is Strange true colors. Actually do not know that much about this release of Life is Strange. I've played the first one, I've played Before the Storm, I've only played the first 1 or 2 parts of Life is Strange 2, and I have not followed this one at all, so I am very much looking forward to going in blind on this release here. So this is again another PS5 title, $35. Destroy All Humans on Switch. I saw this when it released, and I've just kind of been waiting for it to go on sale, but I've actually never played this game, and I love the voice actor behind the main character here. I don't know their name because I've never played this game. I've just heard a clip or two, and it's the same voice actor who plays Zim from Invader Zim and Billy from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and it's pretty much just it's his speaking voice with with him just going a little bit crazier, I guess, with a little more oomph to it. So I look forward to trying this out, but this was $30. Next up, I was surprised with how far this ended up dropping here, and I think it's a great deal, especially for how much you're getting. This is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, so these are all the Mass Effect games, well, except for Andromeda, because Andromeda came out last generation, but Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 all remastered, and this seems to be a really solid remaster as well too, with all the DLC baked in and everything. This ended up being $28, so I'm sure it's going to drop in price even further, but I was like, you know what, for 3 really good games and for something I've been seeing as a really good remaster, why not? I'm gonna pick it up. So yeah, $28 for this. Then coming down here, still on the Best Buy run and everything, end up getting Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Have not played this game yet, so I'm looking forward to this as well too. Decided to get it on Switch for $20. Control Ultimate Edition. I missed out on Control completely. I decided not to pick it up. It is from Remedy here. It's developed by them, and you know, they've been known for really the Max Payne series. That's what I mostly know them for, and then Alan Wake. We're gonna get to that as well too. But I played Quantum, I think it was Quantum Break, that's what it was. I got it on launch, played the hell out of it, got 1,000 gamer score, then I sold it because I was like, this game is just okay. And I had that same fear with Control, but then I found out they were doing an Ultimate Edition, and then I still held off, but then it ended up going on sale, and there's a PS5 upgrade available. There's no PS5 version of this, like no disc, I believe, but there is an upgrade, so I said, you know what, $20 for the Ultimate Edition, I'll go ahead and jump in now. And like I was just talking about, check this out, Alan Wake Remastered. Not only I was surprised that this got remastered, I was surprised that it got a physical release. I was surprised that it was discounted, like it's a budget title, I want to say. It's about maybe $40 or so regularly. And I was, or maybe even $30 US, but like I was even surprised that it was on sale on Black Friday. So I decided to grab this on PS5. I ended up paying $20 for this. So right here, Resident Evil 3, I've been waiting on this here, and honestly, I could probably even get it a little bit less because I've seen it go on sale for a little less. I've seen it go on sale regularly, like not even regularly, but like I think like last Black Friday I saw it for $15 and it disappeared like super quick. So I said, you know what, this is pretty close, I'm gonna get it. I've been wanting to play it, I want to put this in my collection. Resident Evil 3 for PS4, I paid $18 for this. So again, I've seen it for $15, but you know, $18 brand new, decide to grab it. And actually there's a story behind this as well too. So I didn't pay full $18 because I actually had a $10 gift card like through Best Buy, so I end up bringing that down to $8. But then I end up opening it up, and this disc is fine right now. I'll cut in the photos here, but I ended up opening up the disc, well, open up the case, and the disc had what looked like surface scratches on it, and unfortunately, those scratches were surface scratches on a brand new game. The disc was not loose or anything. The case was sealed. It was brand new from Best Buy, and it was just like the data was just gone. Like typically, if you can hold the disc up to light and you can see through those holes, like the scratches up top on the surface, like where the label is, that data is gone. So that was easy enough. I was able to replace it because you can't just swap it out for another game unless they don't have any of that game in stock. But what I did was I just showed them. I was like, hey, this is a defective game. There's scratches here. I got this out the box. I just wanted a different copy of this game. So they exchanged it, and this one's all good. But that's just a note of like, it does help to open up your games and check them, because you could have a brand like Imagine if I bought this and I just kept it on my shelf sealed for like 2 years, and then I finally decided to play Resident Evil 3. I did nothing at that point. Like, I literally did nothing, and the disc was just broken, and I never knew about it. So defective discs can happen. You can even have discs where everything looks fine, and the data is not able to read for whatever reason. That's happened to me before too, but this is the first time I've ever had like explicit like surface scratches like that, like label scratches on the disc. So again, that was a fun adventure to go through, but 18 bucks for that. Then I've been waiting on this as well too. I'm aware there's probably going to be like some Ultimate or Gold Edition or something, but I've been wanting to try this out. I actually tried out the demo on Switch and then deleted it because not that the game was bad, just the Switch build was not very good. But I ended up getting this here, and honestly for the price I said, you know what, I'm just gonna get the base version. It comes with some bonuses and stuff, and that's fine. I paid 15 bucks for this on PS5. So PS5 games are already pretty affordable at this point if you find them on sale. And lastly, this is an old title, and I was surprised and very happy to see it on sale because I like this game quite a bit, but I've never owned it until now. I rented it and I played it quite a bit, and then I returned it because it was a rental, but I've never actually owned it. Trials Fusion on PS4 was only $10. So I said, you know what? I very much enjoy this game. I have to pick that up for 10 bucks. So that was all of my Best Buy purchases right here, right? Like, that's all the stuff I end up getting from Best Buy, which I've been pretty happy with. So then I end up getting a couple games from Gamefly. Now, I really like Gamefly because, in case you don't know, this is actually like, you know, you'll see like Best Buy, you buy these games, they come sealed and everything. This is a game I got from Best Buy. I already opened it, I installed it and everything. And this is a game from Gamefly. Now, when you rent games from Gamefly, you only get the disc. So they only ship you the disc. But what happens is they keep the cases, they keep the inserts, the manuals, the DLC, the cover art, they keep all of that. So when you, like, if you're renting a game from Gamefly, Lily, are you going to lick that again? That's not needed, not 3 times in the video. Anyways, when you end up renting a game from Gamefly, you have the ability, if you want to, you can pretty much pay the difference and purchase it and keep it. And when you decide to keep it, they send you the rest of this. So you get a complete game. And it's all in great condition because all they do, they open up the case, take out the disc, and they just shelve it somewhere. So I really like Gamefly deals. You get something that looks pretty much brand new, if not brand new, for a nice used price. They have good deals on them. So that's why I recommend, you know, whenever Gamefly has sales, definitely take a look at them. And you can get brand new looking games for really good deals. Now, you might be asking, dude, why do you have Ghost of Tsushima here? Because you got it already. You got the PS5 version, all that stuff. So yeah, I have pretty much accidentally triple dipped on this game, right? This is the story I'll tell about it. So last Christmas, I actually ended up getting the base version of Ghost of Tsushima as a Christmas present, so I didn't have to pay anything for it, thankfully. Now, I did not play it because I said I'm only going to play this when I get a PS5. By the time I got a PS5, which was so late, I got news that there was an upcoming PS5 build coming out that you couldn't upgrade to directly. You had to pay for the upgrade, but I was just playing the PS4 version. So then when this went on sale, like you've seen already, if you haven't seen this before, there are some PS4 games like this one. This is just a PS4 game. This is just a PS5 game. But then you have some games like Control, where it's a PS4 game that has a PS5 upgrade. And what that means is when you put the Control disc in your PS4, or PS5, excuse me, when you put it in the PS5, you have the option. You can install the PS4 version of the game with no issue, or you actually have access to a free downloadable PS5 build of Control. You just have to put your disc into the system. Then when you go to like the game menu and everything, you have to like scroll down and you can download the PS5 upgrade, which is just a PS5 build of this same game. And the only difference is you have to download the full game at that point, and then to play it, you have to insert your PS4 disc whenever you want to play it. But it's a free digital upgrade, and it's nice that they do that. So I saw this on Ghost of Tsushima originally for the director's cut, and I was like, you know what? And on Best Buy, at least, the PS5 version was $50. The PS4 version was $40. And I was like, well, I'd rather get the PS5 version because I want it on disc, but if it's the same price. or I guess like I'll get pretty much what I've been doing is, if like, this is actually a good example. If Immortals Phoenix Rising, if it's the same price on PS4 or PS5, I get it on PS5 because I do want the PS5 build on a disc. I want the better version. However, if it's going to be like a price difference, like it's cheaper for whatever reason, and there's still an upgrade, I will get the PS4 version. Now, this is the only time I've done this, right? This is the only time I've executed this logic, and it ended up biting me. Because you're going to notice right here, there's some text down here. And yeah, it says PlayStation Plus membership, internet connection, and account for PlayStation Network required for online multiplayer mode. All right, cool. But what about that PS5 upgrade? So again, I paid $40 for the PS4 version, and it should come with a free upgrade. Now, if you look on the back here, it says, upgrade to the digital PS5 version of the game at a discounted price. To upgrade eligible PS4 disc copies, players need a PS5 console with a disc drive. So I didn't find out about that until I opened it up, I put it into my PS5, and I was scrolling, I was looking, I'm like, where's the upgrade? Where's the upgrade? Turns out, if you have the PS4 version of the Director's Cut of Ghost of Tsushima, you can upgrade to the PS5 version for like $30. Now, I have done that with one game. I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4 on launch. I didn't want to pay another $60, $70 for the PS5 version of it. Because I paid for, like, you know, like the special or the limited edition or whatever. Now, when I got that game, I did want to get Intergrade. And you could upgrade to Intergrade for like $20. So I said, you know what? Sure, it's pretty much a DLC upgrade at that point. It's like, I think it gave you the PS5 build, but it was the base version. But to get Intergrade, you had to pay the differential for the DLC, which, okay, sure, $20, it's fine. I enjoyed the game. But what happened with this here was I found out, I'm like, okay, so wait, my own fault, but I paid $40 for this, and then to play the PS5 version with this disc, I have to pay another $30. I was kind of like, yeah, screw that. So what I did was I started looking at Gamefly. That's when this happened here, and I ended up paying, I want to say it was right in the middle. I paid $45 for this. So this is the PS5 version. It's not the PS4 version. It's the actual PS5 version on disc. That's what I wanted. I should have just done this from the beginning, but it's all good. I paid $45 for this. Now, it's funny because I ended up messaging my girlfriend about this, and I explained this to her because this is like, at first this was the logic we were using, and like I even ran it by her, and we were just like, yeah, no, this makes sense. Like, if the PS4 version's cheaper and you get the free upgrade, get that, obviously. Turns out, again, you have to pay for the upgrade. This is like one of the few games you have to do that for. So then I pretty much ran it by her, and I was like, hey, look, do you want to play Ghost of Tsushima? If so, I can give you my PS4 version next time I see you. She actually has a PS5 that I end up giving to her as a Christmas present. But I said, like, hey, look, if you want this, go ahead, just let me know. And next time I see you, I can go ahead and give it to you. You're probably not going to do the PS5 upgrade on here. And the PS4 version, it's still fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's not going to like look as nice. It's not going to have the ray tracing natively on there. It's not going to load as fast. And she was like, oh, I don't mind. That's all good. So she, because of my mess up there and not looking into the fine print, she's going to get her own copy of Ghost of Tsushima, Director's Cut. And then my original one, which is not the Director's Cut, I'm probably going to re-gift that or something to a friend, because that's usually what happens. So it's funny. There's actually one of my friends, I was thinking of giving it to him, but he has a disc-less version of the PS5, and he's not going to go back onto his PS4 Slim. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give it to him just because of that. But either way, I paid $45 for that. End up spending more money. And then Ghost Runner. I've actually been looking forward to this. I've been wanting to play it, been wanting to try it out. And this, again, another kind of like game that I was surprised got a physical release, but I was also surprised was kind of a more budget title. I paid $15 for this from Gamefly. Was very happy about that. So there we go. That is all the games that we got into. Now, we're going to get into the consoles here. All right, so Lily, it's console time. Then I guess we can wrap this up, right? There you go. So, as you can see, there's a lot of consoles that I got here this pickup. So I think this is a good way to end off the year as well, too. So those, again, are from Canada. Now, one fun thing is I got to, because like I mentioned, I gave my girlfriend because I'm not going in December, I ended up giving her, as an early Christmas present, a PS5. Now, I brought the damn PS5 with me. That thing is big. So I pretty much had enough space to bring more systems back. Those ones altogether do take up more space, but still, I was able to fill that space with multiple systems. So we end up going to a Value Village. Now, I've talked about this before, and I actually ended up getting a console from there before. The last episode, I got a DS Lite from that same one. Now, I had seen these systems there, and I held off, and I thought about it for a few days, and I told her, I was like, hey, in a few days, if they're still there, I kind of want to pick them up. And she was all cool with it. So I ended up getting a few consoles here. Now, I didn't bring the, I didn't show the cables. I do have all the cables, but they're just off camera. But I ended up getting a Wii right here. This is just a white Wii that has the GameCube ports and all that stuff. So that's all good. And I ended up paying, as you can see here, $25 Canadian for it. Now, it didn't come with a game or anything, but it ended up coming with the cables that are required and the sensor that was needed. Cool thing as well, too, is that I just noticed and I gathered from the 360, and I'll tell that story, whoever is working at this Value Village who does all the electronic stuff, he knows what he has, he knows how to test everything, he knows how to separate stuff and label it, and they charge fair prices for everything as well, too. So they don't take advantage on there. But with the Wii, it did not come with a Wiimote or a nunchuck. That's fine, I have several. But it also didn't have a SD card in there. I was looking for that. But it's just a stock Wii. It works fine. End up paying $25 Canadian for this with, again, the sensor and the cables, like the AV cable and the power cable, like the power supply. So this, again, with the discount, ends up being about $20 for that, which I'd say is fair, like 20 US. Right, Lily? Lily, you like that? I guess she does. Lily, oh my God, you are licking everything this episode. My goodness. Next up is this PS3 here. Now, this PS3, again, did not have any controllers with it or anything. It was just the PS3 with the power cable, the AV cable, which ended up being a composite cable, which for some reason Sony shipped out. People forget that. I don't know why. I don't know why with this. Sony shipped out the PlayStation 3 with composite cables. Not component, not HDMI, composite. I don't know why. But either way, I ended up picking up this PS3 Slim here. I was looking at it, and I pretty much kind of just had to play roulette with them, because I have never seen this before. I don't know, Lily, I don't know what's up with it. I don't know what's up with the PS3, right? In this area we were at, typically in my area, when I'm shopping at thrift stores, I rarely see PS3s for some reason. I think I've seen like one PS3 at a thrift store out of all my years of thrifting around here. In the area my girlfriend lives, this Value Village, they were pulling out, like, it was comical. They were pulling out PS3s out of, like, nooks and crannies. Like, they would, like, move a box and there was a PS3. They would move a PS3, there was another PS3. I think at this time when I went, they had, like, 8 PS3s, ranging from they didn't have any backwards compatible models, unfortunately, but ranging from, like, they had 2 or 3 of the fat models, and they had a bunch of these Slims. And they had the 2501 models, which means they might be able to take custom firmware, and they have the 3000 models, which means they cannot take custom firmware. You have to use HAN or HIN on them. So optimally, I was looking for a Slim, and I was looking for one that could handle custom firmware. But because none of them were a 2000 model, I couldn't be 100% sure. So it was very much a thing of, a game of chance at that point. Now, I ended up picking this one up because I paid a little bit more for it, but it was in a bag. It had the cables with it, and it looked like it was in better shape. And it ended up being, you can check the model number right here. Oh my God, Lily, like... Okay, that's from her slobber, I guess. We have that on the bottom of the system here. But yeah, this ended up being a 2501 model. So right here, I end up trying this out just right before this video, right? Decided to plug it in. I saw it's on firmware 4.87. I ran PS3 Exploit on it, have not modified it yet, but I can confirm this system can take custom firmware. So I end up lucking out on it. The system works fine. It has a 160 gigabyte hard drive in there, and I was actually even worried that the hard drive was missing because, like it sounded like the bracket was there for the hard drive, but there was no hard drive in there. and the system has not been opened, but you can still remove the hard drive itself. So I was worried about that, but either way, for this PS3, I end up paying with the cables, and again, it's custom firmware compatible. It's a Slim. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to open it up, clean it up, repaste it, close it, then jailbreak it with full custom firmware. So good find there. But this ended up being $40 Canadian. Typically, their PS3s were $35, but I paid $5 more for this one because, again, it was in a bag. It had, the cables with it, and it looked like it was in better condition. So I had to take a chance on it with custom firmware, but it was there. But yeah, I kind of had to hold myself because I don't know what was up with this area. It's all location, location, location. And this area, it was like everyone just wanted to get rid of their PS3s. They had like 8 of them there. I had never seen that. So that was real cool. Now, the last system I end up getting here, I'm going to move this over to the side. And that's going to dry up. It's fine. But we're going to have to clean up the carpet at one point. This was actually something I kind of saw it moving around a bit. At one point I went there and it was on like the shelves with just the general electronics, just an Xbox 360. Now it ended up looking like this. It actually did not have the hard drive attached to it and had this note here saying cord memory at showcase. And that's like where like their like showcase area is with their more, you okay, Lily? With their more valuable stuff, right? So I end up seeing this and I decided to hold off on it. Then I went back a few days later with my girlfriend and we were looking and I saw the 360 was in the back showcase area, but they couldn't find the bag. And now I brought the bag with me. It's not here on camera, but I have it. And it ended up including the power supply, I want to say AV cables, no controller. It had a 120 gigabyte hard drive, so that was a nice little bonus on there. And it even had this little thing right here, which I kind of freaked out with this because I was like, holy crap, I'm not going to use this thing, but I think it's still worth at least a little something if I want to resell this. So I think I can probably get like what I paid for with this if I just sell this here. This is the original wireless adapter for the Xbox 360. The 360, the fat ones here, did not include Wi-Fi on there. So you had to go out and buy an adapter like this. And this is the lesser of the two. This one is okay. If you can get the one that has 2 wireless antennas on it, that one is better. But this one only has 1. But it was the best that people could do at the time. And I remember these things were like $70. But either way, it included this as well too, which is random. So, I mean, just for the hard drive and even the wireless adapter and of course the power supply, it was worth it by itself. So the last thing was checking to see if the console worked, which I can verify. I know Lily's tired by this. I can verify that the console does work. I hooked it up. It boots up green. It's on like 16547 dashboard, so I mean it's still moddable. All the fats are going to be moddable, and it is a Falcon motherboard. The only downside is the DVD drive does not work. Like, it struggles to open, it will not read discs, and some people might look at that as like a negative. For me, because of how temperamental the fat 360s can be, if it's a Jasper model motherboard, I have no doubts. But if it's a Falcon, you're really taking a risk right there. It might work or it might not. And then like Xenons and Zephyrs, if I see them in the wild, I don't even take a chance with them. But what ended up happening was when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, the DVD drive doesn't work, that's fine. I'm confident enough to fix up the DVD drive. Like, the DVD drive, I can replace the laser on it, I can clean it up, I can replace the drive belt as well too, and between those 3 things, that should be enough to get it back up and running. The DVD drive will work just fine. It just, I know that it needs a new laser, it desperately needs a cleaning, and it needs a new drive belt, all of which I have the parts for, so I'm not worried about that. The DVD drives for me, they're easy enough to refurbish and get back up and running. Even if I do modify the system, like if you do an RGH, you don't really need the DVD drive at that point if you're just going to be transferring your files over, like if you have them on a USB drive or something. But I want the system to be fully working when I have it. So I'll be able to refurbish this. I'm not worried about it. But either way, for all that stuff, that was right there, the sticker price, 25 Canadian, which again, bring it down to a discounted level. I don't even think I mentioned this on the previous one. This would be about $20 US. This would be about $32 US. So I would say these are all like pretty fair deals for these consoles here. And then I just had to bring them back in my luggage and all that stuff, which was a little bit of a pain, but it worked out. It was fine enough. So yeah, again, even with the 360, I was just thinking like even the $20 US, it's like, I mean, at that point, it's like between I'm getting more value for that just because of the power supply, the antenna, and the hard drive. That's not even including the console. At that point, it's almost like the console was just a bonus. So there we go. So, oh, sorry, Lily, I interrupted you. Lily, you want a treat for all this madness? You want a treat? There you go. Now, the last console I ended up getting here, which ended up being a brand new console. So this here is the newest system that we'll have here on Thrifty Gaming Pickups. And Lily, you are just, my God. Okay, cool. This will be the newest system I have here on Thrifty Gaming Pickups, a Xbox Series S. Now, I ended up getting this just yesterday when I was filming this. I actually ended up going with one of my friends. I've had him on my main channel at least before, my friend Sean. Now, he ended up taking me to a store local to his area, which is a Amazon resale place. And it's not an Amazon store. What they do is they will get like brand new products and some stuff that might even be returned, just like dented products, messed up products, but for the most part, brand new products that Amazon cannot sell as brand new anymore because they're technically damaged, but they're still new. So as you can see, like for example, this with this Xbox Series S, the box looks horrible. This is cut out, this is cut out, it has stickers all over the place. This controller as well too, like look at that, you know, like this cannot be on a store shelf. And like if somebody got this shipped to them, and this might even happen as well too, it's like if someone got this shipped to them through Amazon, and they saw this and they're just like, yeah, this looks awful, I want to return it, they can then return it, and at that point Amazon, it's a damaged product to them, but they can't test it to make sure if it works or not. So typically what Amazon will do is they will just sell them, like kind of just, you know, sell this off like in bids and stuff. There's many stores that they'll do kind of giant, how do I say, they'll do like giant containers and crates where it's like the store will buy Amazon products just by the crate full, and then they'll let people ruffle through them, and you might pay by weight or you might pay by item. And doesn't matter what it is. So like, let's say if every item was $5. If you find a Xbox Series controller, $5. If you find an Xbox Series, $5. If you find, I don't know, Immortals Phoenix Rising, $5. Like that's how that would go. This store was not like that. This store was very much set up like a store. So like they had prices for controllers, they had prices for consoles, but it's very much what they have in stock at that point. And the nice thing is as well too, is that they don't take holds over the phone, but if you see something there and you want to hold on to it, but you're not 100% sure if you want it, they will hold the item for you for 2 hours. So that's actually what I did, because I wasn't expecting to do this here, right? But I end up getting these here. I got this Xbox Series and Xbox One carbon black controller. It's brand new, even though, you know, it has this messed up here and everything. It's brand new. And the cool thing is with this store, like the crate places, like I said, it's one thing with that is they don't have a return policy. So it's very much you're taking your own risk on there. Like this stuff could be damaged, it just can't be tested. With all the stuff here, it's assumed to be brand new, it just the packaging looks damaged. So even if you bring it home and it's broken, you can return it with the receipt. So it's real cool. It is a real store at that point. But this ended up being $48. And I know I've seen these controllers go on sale for about $40 or so, but this is just right there. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get a second controller for my Series console. And then for the actual Series console itself, the Xbox Series S, I ended up paying $280 US for this. Now, this was discounted because the system normally sells for $300 and it was $20 less. And this was my logic with it, right? I said, first of all, I'm going to get one of these at one point. My original plan was I wanted to get a Series X soon. Like I wanted to get a Series X first and then use the Series S as a supplemental system and like then, you know, kind of run it in dev mode and have emulators and all that stuff there. That didn't end up happening because I can't get a hold of the Series X. Like I can't get a hold of the Series X. These things do not exist. They're really hard to pick up. So I've seen the Series S in places, but it's $300. Like $300 US, that's the going rate for it. So I'm not really too crazy about picking one up. I wasn't, at least. But then the thing is, probably this week, I'll probably drop the episode this week. Halo Infinite is coming out. I plan to play it on the Xbox. I was going to play it on my Xbox One X, but I said, you know what? I'm going to pick it up through Game Pass. I'm going to be able to play an an enhanced version of it if I have even an Xbox Series S. It won't be as nice as the X, but it will be nicer than the Xbox One X, so I'll get, many of those benefits. Plus, again, I'm going to want to get this at one point. And I don't think these consoles are going to drop in price anytime soon. PS4 discless, well, PS5 discless is going to be $400. Disc base is going to be PS5 discless is going to be $400. Disc base is going to be $500. Series S is going to be $300. Series X is going to be $500. That's just going to be the price for a while, especially just with how the market is and everything. So when I saw this, I said, you know what? Halo's coming out. I'm going to want to play Halo on this. I'm going to get this eventually. If not now, I'm going to get this later. And I don't think the price is going to be dropping anytime soon, so I might as well just save 20 bucks now. So that is how I inadvertently ended up getting a Series S. And even like looking at this here, now granted, I was the one who repacked this, so it's not like it came like this, but it was all brand new on the inside. Like, and this is the system here, and this thing is small. Like, I mean, look at this. Like, it's like maybe a bit bigger than the Wii. Even just like looking at a game case as well too. This thing is small. This is the smallest Xbox ever released. So, was not expecting to get a Series S, but I ended up getting it, and I certainly was not expecting to ever show it on Thrifty Gaming Pickups. But here we go. Here we go. We end up getting one of these things. Anyways, that is about it for this episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, a like would absolutely be appreciated. If you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well too. Probably not going to see you all on this channel for the rest of this year, so I hope you all have a happy and healthy end of the year for 2021. Finish out strong, and hopefully I'll see you all back here in 2022. So if you enjoyed this video, a like would absolutely be appreciated. If you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well too. But as I always say, if you do dislike the video, you're just going to make this dog really, really sad.